Hello everyone, legends, welcome back to the channel, me Dragon Ball McQueen, and welcome to Planet Coaster 2, where I'm working on a queue line and a sort of station build for the dueling coaster, the dueling Intamin Blitz that we've been building. I've coloured the tracks as well, so there's much more of a distinction between the Celtic, or the Iceni tribe and the Romans. And yeah, I'm kind of pleased with the way it's beginning to look now, just trying to convey that that kind of warlike attitude within the interior, but also designing the look out here with the park and stuff. So without further ado, we'll get on with it and start building. No, I don't want Mediterranean. Yeah, I do want Mediterranean actually, sorry. Turn those bits off. We need random. There we go. This is a bit where it's tricky getting the path to mould with the with what is already there. Toggle building access. But we'll get there with it, we'll get there. That's not helpful at all. Probably going to have to end up... I kind of want some flat pieces for this part where the coaster comes past. We want it to be and then probably what I'm going to do after that is add some railing on top as well. I'm going to try and make this all custom. This is kind of like the big focal point of the park, really. The showstopper. The main piece. It's kind of not working. See if we're coming out too far. Yeah, it's right on the track, which is no good. I definitely don't want that. finding appropriate rocks to fit the gaps and stuff. We'll get there with it. Okay, that's not very good, is it? I kind of don't want it cutting that corner off. Okay. If I get a few bits covering that, then the join, then we'll be okay. Okay, that's not going to work, is it? I mean, it will. The guests will end up walking across it, which is no good. Not what we want. This one might work, and then we can fill the gaps in. Slight angle up. Just want to kind of hide all that horrible pathing. I can actually turn off path and supports underneath anyway, so I, if need be, could do that, but I'd rather make it look kind of natural and like a bit of rock work. Alright, now we can add stuff in all around. This could be a lot more random and a bit more all over the place, and I can blend it a bit easier as well. With the random rotation tool, it makes it so much easier to do this sort of work as well. So just checking that it won't popping through into the station. Kind of ruin that build I've done already. That would be a bit of a shame. That will definitely be popping through into the station, I reckon. Not too much, but it is, yeah. Probably better to have it that way. It's a bit more of an interesting formation like that. And then once I add plant life in and stuff, it'll make it look a lot more interesting as you come down onto the launch. Yeah, it's a necessary evil, unfortunately, rock work, but if you put the time and effort in, it's definitely worth doing, and it looks much nicer. When you're on the coaster. Yeah, so far the it's not poking through under track, ruining the... No, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I definitely want some greenery around it and plant life. I have this idea of this little cottage sitting up on the hill for the Iceni tribe, although that's they probably would have been circular houses more so in forests, but so I've used a bit of artistic license here, but kind of had to as it's a station build. So historically accurate, no. Theme park accurate, yes. That's generally the way you have to go. You have to reach some compromises. Alright, let's blend it a bit. Yeah, alright. We probably want heather and stuff like that as well. But now I'm thinking about the queue line, what kind of railing we're going to have. And probably going to go for something. It's all going to be part of this build, so... Back over to... not Viking theme. And I'm just curious, there's one particular piece in here, I wonder... Yeah, there we go, Viking lamppost. How small can that go? It's still fairly big, but it's still fairly small. Yeah, we could use that, and then... I'm kind of thinking that as my main posts, and then some pieces in between. I'm guessing that doesn't make a lot of sense. In saying that, for the entrance and exit, I kind of wanted extended bits. I was looking for circular pieces to go to make that a bit more interesting, but I couldn't find any in any of the themes I'm working in or anything. Yeah, so it's a bit annoying. Kind of like to keep the to give it a bit more warmth inside for the people working inside. Seeing as that's got there, if you have a little bit where the wind can't blow directly onto the back of the person working there, it's a lot better. working conditions. I will need to create a like extended piece, and I think, yeah, I didn't think I had any wood colours in there. So we'll just confirm that. Yeah, there we go. I was thinking I wanted that as like a length piece, but now I'm thinking a different approach. The cottage is going to look decidedly modern compared to the actual time period. Setting. Alright, let's bring it down. No, no, we do not want that. I forgot I got the random rotation on and scale. Turn that back off. Now we're working with architecture. We need precision. I mean, I could have this as my fencing. It looks pretty dull and boring, to be honest with you. As fencing, it's dull and boring. As architecture, it's interesting and enlightening. Right, let's make this a little... What are you doing? Oh, that. Okay. Let's make this a little bigger, which is what I was trying to do. 130%? Question mark? No, possibly more. 140%? 150%. Actually, I think it's probably going to be what we're after. Hopefully you're beginning to get a feel for what I'm going for here. And saying that, I'm just thinking, oh no, that'll be alright. So we'll go for thatch roof. I don't know how. Yeah. No. Jump up. So that's okay. It's just these frontal pieces are not very cottage or Viking, so or Celtic Iceni tribe. So what I'm going to do is change that up a bit. But that'll be easy to do. I've got an idea of what I can do there. So right, that like that. I don't know whether I want it like that or whether I want it like that, even though you're coming in at the side. Like it's... even though you're exiting through there. Alright, that was one of my cats. Something banging about, and the cats were... Yeah, it kind of looks better. And then if we just... saying that, I might as well finish this look, and then we'll go from there. Because then I can bring that across to here as well. And we'll have two pieces. Sorry about the banging if you heard it earlier in the background. It's, I think one of my boys has come home and grabbing himself something to eat. Let's so kind of thinking the way I can perhaps make that a bit more interesting is by doing it around the arch, not following the curve necessarily, but using like bracket pieces to make it a bit more interesting. I'll show you what I mean a bit. In the meantime, it keeps jumping over here, which is, yeah, lovely when you're working with small pieces and there's too much detail in one area. In this game it does that occasionally, or something it doesn't like that I've done. Bring that across, and that's a bit more. See what I mean? It just jumps all over the place, which makes building very frustrating and awkward. But what are you going to do, eh? What are you going to do? That is the colour. I took it from the brackets. I'm just thinking, in saying that, I could kind of break up the form of the square, if that makes any sense. But I'm also thinking, nope, get off there. There is that piece, which is Viking door trim. Well, that's kind of appropriate, since I'm building a door. That's exactly what I had in mind across the doorway. Yeah, and then put the brackets underneath. Yeah, that's very good. That's exactly what we need. Now I'm also wondering, do I want a I like the fact that they rotate on a central axis. That's really nice. And also I'm noticing a little gap at the top, so what I'm going to do is grab all those and just move them up a smidgen so they fit nicer. Now, I don't think I want anything at the bottom. Well, no, I might do. I was gonna put that in there, but it's a bit too much, and also I could probably use it as fencing for the actual ride. So I don't think we need that. Right, what we do need is to grab all those pieces, copy, rotate, and pray that the way I've done it by eye round the side is correct, and it should all slot into position. And of course it doesn't. That's okay, because that then we can easily move that across into the correct position. And now all I need there is just those pieces. And so much just for an exit, just for a tiny part of an exit, but yeah, well, we're getting into it. Alright. I don't want that sticking through. I do want it inside, so you've got this rough kind of rough wood look. If I copy this over, I'm not. Might do is just copy one side. Yeah. Yeah, I've just copied that left-hand side and the whole top. And then, yeah, I know what I mean. I can see what I'm going to do and then bring it over here. And then it'll be. So I can probably add to it to make it a bit more interesting. But at the moment it's not. not too bad. It's beginning to get that village look, and it's for a station. It's very nice, and then aesthetically pleasing. I haven't used any dragons at all. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it, to have some dragons. Actually, I think this dragon head's better. Yeah, that one. Much nicer. Although it hasn't got the Celtic, the kind of Viking Celtic, that pattern on, whereas that one has, although it's a bit more kiddie like, but you can do, no, not, okay. That. Oh, blue lips. Oh. Oh, interesting. Stormcloaks. Imperials or Stormcloaks? Was a question I was asked the other day at work and did not expect it, but there we go. Yeah, that'd be kind of good to have. Perhaps inside. I don't know. We'll have some. We'll go a bit more, not Viking, but a bit more that way. Well, it is Viking, but you can all have. Also, it could apply to the Iceni tribe. So no, it's just getting wood in that piece there. I did have an idea of what I wanted to do. Actually, it's an easy way of doing it. I say easy. There's an easier way of doing it, and that would be bring that down, bring that across. That way I've got lots of slats all in one place. We bring it back. We're still sticking out the top. We bring it down. Bring it forward into the wood. Basically what I'm trying to do is make sure that the far side, i.e. the right hand side as we're looking at it, yeah, that's going to be a problem, but not too much of a problem. And I can copy that whole block, bring it across. Got an idea of what I want to do with that. Come here, you. Let's blend you a bit. There we go. So the wood grain isn't too jarring. So that dirtier wood's kind of blended. So it makes more sense on the eye. Rotate you. What would be easier here would be just to do that. Followed by that. Thanks. bit weird, but it doesn't seem to have the same shape on either. Yeah, see, definitely doesn't have the same shape on either side then, the thatch or the. To bring it across slightly, up slightly. Yeah, we're all right. There we go. Yeah, now it doesn't look like a tiki bar thatched roof. It looks a bit more like a proper Viking era. A pigeon. Don't leave a present for me on my newly built station, thank you. So what I'm going to do is copy that all across. And then we can start adding more details, like lighting, etc. Okay, I can't see what it's grabbing. It's going to grab lots of stuff underneath as well, I've just realised, but that should be easy to remove because we can just come down here, remove it all. Thank you. That as well. Now we should have. Oh, okay. I'll bring you out here and delete what I don't need, which is all that, all that rock for that matter, or surprisingly enough, you know what, I may just keep that like that, and then grab that. Can't see what we're grabbing. Let's exit out. Now we can see what we're grabbing. Oh, I grabbed the glass, which was a bit stupid. I don't need the. Okay, I don't need the glass. And I don't need that bit. Or that bit. Oh, I do need the glass. Of course I need the glass, because it's going across on a side part. Right, I think that's what I need. We'll find out in a minute. Well, that was good rotation, wasn't it? Well done, Planet Coaster. Do I do a copy of it in case I need it again? Perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking, but no. It looks better without those pieces on, I definitely think. Okay, I can bring a rock up there to just hide that bit of shrubberies around there. But now we have a nice little entranceway. Actually, this piece, we don't need you. You don't need it, I don't think, because I don't think there's anywhere else I can put it. I could take, having the coast to go through it. It's just not practical or realistic in any way. So now the station. So I want things that convey going to war, but also want to keep it within the it's got to feel very different to the other stations, sort of the Roman based stations. That's the main feel and idea. Like Celtic stations, we've got this one here, which is, very nature based. I tried to keep it that way. In fact, there's no lighting in here whatsoever, which I'm probably going to have to address that. But it's all sort of natural lighting coming in, which is the idea. The holes, that's going to need covering up to fit, and perhaps the flooring. I'm not so worried about the flooring, it's not as important. And the other Celtic, right, see, we've got a thatched roof. It's kind of reds and rose bushes, but very much a that kind of look. Oh, I've used these fairy tale lanterns in here, which fits with the whole area. So I may use the fairy tale lanterns on Celtic Knot. Because those fairy tale lights give quite a nice light. Hello Albion cat, what are you doing? They give quite a nice light, a nice warm kind of light, which was the idea. Oh, we have got lighting in here. Where have I got the light in? Where is the lighting? Is it underneath and I'm not putting lamps in? I've cheated. So it's best to put some of those hanging lamps in, just so it comes down from the roof. I finally managed to put a post here for the and there's lots of areas of the park that are quite dark. Probably going to need to add some more lighting around the park and signposts and things. Roman baths is over capacity. Well, use the other bloody pool then. But no, you won't. If I can't, the pool's over capacity and then the guests won't use the other one, what can I do? Nothing is the answer. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Ah, that would have popped. You'd lost your balloon there, mate. Because fire and balloons don't mix, really. Especially not ones with helium in. Yes, I wanted the Roman side to be very lit, and the Celtic sides have more of a party vibe. So I probably want some bunting across here from different areas and things, coming across from buildings to there. There's a few finishing touches to add to, and this is just plonked in at the moment. It needs some theming around it so it looks a bit more interesting and fitting of the area. Many guests have reported pickpocketing. Good for them. Let them enjoy that pickpocketing. Yeah, you're panicking about these water pumps, but there's nothing wrong with them. whatsoever. Why? Pickpocketing. Ah. They're doing it around the front of the park and all the way over here into the Celtic area. Interesting. Not so much around the baths. So what do I need to do? Add cameras everywhere? Current guest capacity 120 of 90. Filtering. Oh, that's the baths. Yeah, nothing I could do about it, game. Absolutely nothing I can do about that problem of overcapacity, because you've not actually let me address the issue. Nice. That's quite good when you get them going across the track and you get them going up the top hats at the same time. To have 4 trains all out at once. But yeah, still got these issues there with the, and it is just the Intamin Blitz coaster, I think. I don't think there's any issues with yeah, it's just the Intamin Blitz. Fix our Blitz. Definitely doesn't seem to be here either. Let's have a look. Yeah, textures are fine on all the other coasters. It's just the Intamin Blitz that has messed up restraints. And which seems it kind of seems strange to me, because the Intamin Blitz is such a popular model. It's the one you want to get right, really. Hello, cat. I've got Albion come over for a fuss. So yeah, we want to add things in that are going to make it interesting. So Celtic banners, perhaps flyers and things hanging down. See, I was thinking about having the, yeah, I probably will still have it. I probably cover over the roof, and then I can put like upstairs in inverted commas, you know, type. Thinking about a centerpiece there between the windows on the other side, so when you're waiting for trains you have a focus. Yeah, let's design a centerpiece, shall we? Design a centerpiece. Oh, excuse me, yawning. I don't know why I'm yawning. I've rested quite a bit today. I've been having quite a bad headache today, so I was just like, I took a lot of rest and did not partake in games so much. In fact, not at all. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. We kind of want that. And the other colour we want to be green. Can you be a hunter green or sea green? Hunter green, yep. Where are you going? Right. Next we want and then we want you to go big or go home. We want it to go big. Yep. Do I want it right there next to that? Yeah, that's more dynamic, encroaching on the window space. Because then, yeah, that looks nicer. I'm kind of thinking that kind of wood. Yeah, the Viking wooden jetty platform might be nice as a... That needs to be smaller. And spin it over. Bring it through. I hope you can see what I'm going for. If not, you'll get it in a minute. Right, my concern is... Yeah, good. Do not stick through. Okay, it's probably going to stick through by doing that. Actually, it's making up a silly word and being daft in the process. 75 perhaps, is that the correct measurement? Oh, I've got a good idea now. I was like, well, come on, please do tell. Thinking about just putting a flat colour behind it to give it more... Okay, there's an issue. We're overlapping. Alright, as soon as you're overlapping, let's bring it back a bit. Or do we bring it forwards? Yeah, forwards actually works better. I don't want it sticking forwards too much. But just enough. And none of it's sticking through the wall on the other side. Brilliant. Scruffy's just walked past now and then looked at me as if I'd stolen his dinner. It's a nice base colour. I still want that warmth of the Iceni tribe to shine through. That's the... Wow, that's good. Okay, 145, 150. Yeah, I think we're not bursting out the seams anywhere, are we? Yeah, we are. Therein lies the issue. So we're going to have to do it to fit width. So 135. The good thing about basic shapes are they blend so easily. I might want it as a, yeah, as more of a relief. Because at the moment it looks a bit flat. Now I need something, sorry for zooming out like that, it's just easier for me to find where I need to go. And I love the sorcerer pack for Celtics and Druids. So yeah, we've got Wormroot, which is an ancient mythical beast from the Celtic tribe. I was looking for something in particular, and I was like, I know I've used it over here. Yep, it's here. It's there. That's what I wanted, because it's easier to take those colours. And use them. $671 pieces, and which is good, because normally if you're doing something like this, you'd be pushing thousands of pieces. So 671 pieces is not bad. You know, a conservative piece count, which is what you kind of want. So I'm just going to have a sip of my getting cold coffee. Scrap that, freezing cold coffee. Planet Coaster is responsible for many a cold cup of coffee, I'm sure. Because you kind of get into these thought processes, I guess, and just keep going with it. Yeah, I kind of like that as a roof support. That's really quite nice. Do I want it those boring, dull browns? Probably not. Probably not. No. It shines through up there as well, look, on the top texture. So green would kind of work. Yeah, we'll go for green. And I wanted some more some more colour. Yeah, that Viking wall decoration, which is exactly what we're using it for. Annoyingly, if you put them next to each other, you have 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Which is why I'm crossing them over. So it's just consistent 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You know. And by the way, I'm not talking in binary. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. It's not perfect, but it will do. It will do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right. Yeah, So I'm beginning to be pleased with the station. See, the first station, that I did in here, was simple, but inside it's effective, and I've got that low ceiling and that. And there's detail, and there's, you know, and then also I've kind of covered up. Well, I've completely covered up the booth. I think there's signposts or metal pieces that I've got around the. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I added that on. So we've got this slightly different look to it, and then there's a lot of trim work and basic shape work as well to give that textured wallpaper, because we still don't have any wallpaper in Planet Coaster of any kind, even though there was that there was wallpaper in the spooky pack in the original Planet Coaster, not, and we don't have anything in Planet Coaster 2, although it's only been out for a year. I'm kind of hoping, like secretly hoping, for a Universal crossover. They do have the Jurassic Park games, so that it's not like they're on bad relationship terms with. They have bad relations with Universal. And if we did get a nice crossover, like, be good. But my dream collab would be DLC Steampunk Pack Fly from Fantasia Land. I couldn't think of the park for a second because there are many parks in the world, none of which I've been to for a long time. But that's not entirely true. Went to Flamingo Land not too long ago, and I live just up the road from Fantasy Island. Can you call that a theme park? It's not really. It's more like a glorified. Ooh, yuck. Ooh, what are you doing there? Why have you changed that? Ugh. Thank you. Can we get that to fit in now? No. It's too small. But it's also perfect. I'm just trying to line it up, but it's sticking out. Yep, there we go. Are we? Yep, there we go. Now you should. Alright, that line's thicker. Nobody Nobody's seen that. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb even from here. The architect was having an off day. I understand why they kind of make things to simple measurements and that in Planet Coaster in the games, because we have to be able to understand it quickly. There was some complex pieces in Planet Coaster. I think there's some complex pieces in this and how they fit together, and it is a bit of a headache just trying to figure out how they go together. You know, kind of like, okay, and you bring out blueprints of this, you know, yeah, I'd see that, but... And then when you're doing it, you're like, well, I want a piece that does this, and that piece doesn't exist, and... Because your mind works differently to the creator who created the pieces in the first place. Because that's human nature, and yeah, it just becomes a faff. So, these simple 4 meter, 2 meter, 1 meter kind of measurements work for the most part, and it's easy for everyone to understand. We're all singing from the same song hymn sheet, really. But it can be a little dull and tedious, and also when you have things like this where you know, that 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 testing 2 1 1, you know, it doesn't really work for me. And case in point over there where we've got the bit where alright, we want to blend you as best we can, but we're going to have some thicker beams. I suppose with an old style build like this, like an ancient build, it doesn't matter as much that those measurements are slightly off, but it is, I know it's there and it's a little bit annoying. It's going to bug me, and now you know it's there, so it's going to bug you too if you've watched this series. Like, and you're not achieving the desired effect you want. Oh, that could be that could look a bit nice, couldn't it? Love that. Do we want you over? Yeah, you sticking out the other side? No, you're not. That's good. That's not. I didn't want you sticking out the other side. Although, because I probably want the outside to look different to the inside. But it looks a bit more interesting. It's exactly the same on the other side. It is good. It's reversible piece. Yeah, that's nice. Nice. And that's not getting in the way of just thought of something else you could actually. Oh no. No, you're not going to work, I don't think, there. No, I don't think you're going to work there. You mean you might? Because I need something that's going to kind of cover up. Do you know what? You might actually work there. This is the entrance. I'm pretty sure these are the air gates for the entrance. I mean, yeah, it is. So that is now sort of a guideline. But this, see, it's different. The air gate width is different for the exit. It's wider for the exit and thinner for the entrance, which, yeah, you know, probably realistic. Frustrating for design, though. Very frustrating. So, brackets round there to kind of accentuate that bit. But yeah, look, it's different. Oh, but it's not the end of the world. We can do something with it. We can work with that. So, spears, swords. I kind of want all that sort of stuff. Do we want a? We want a big sword. We'll see how good that. Not big enough. You need to be bigger sword. You need to be massive. Like. I'm going to have the obligatory Britannia statue kind of design. I've already thought about that outside. It's somewhere on the ride. So you'll probably pass it, or possibly not pass it on the ride, but pass it somewhere on the ride. You'll see what I mean when I get to designing it. Or it'll be stood there as a kind of focal point as you walk past. Let's bring you forward, because I probably want some dragons on the side to symbolise that raw power that the Iceni tribe and Boudica had when they set out to avenge the evil deeds of the Romans, basically. And restore justice to the land was probably the idea, but they didn't succeed. But they certainly gave them, you know, and reports from the Romans say there was 100,000 Iceni, or Britons, Celtics, and there was only 10,000 of them, but due to their amazing strategy in battle, which, you know, it's no secret that the Romans were very good in combat. But I think they might have exaggerated the numbers of the Celts they were up against. Personal opinion, but history is written by the winners, so. That's my personal opinion. I think because the Romans were not modest, let's be honest. Yeah, you kind of, I don't know whether I like that or not. I can't decide. Or do we? It didn't really work. That one probably works better, but it's. I'll say it's more childish, but it's kind of not. We're gonna make it. Focal point of rebellion. Let me. Yeah, there we go. So it's the colours we need are going to be. Yeah, that's what I wanted. And then, so this. Yeah, because that orange, the contrast of it, and then right, actually that orange, I was going to say, might look better as a red. It does, but my problem is the red is a Roman colour, really. It's very much, throughout the park, it's an identity of the Roman side, so that's my... Have flames. No, we're not going to go that ridiculous, but, you know. Oh, my back. So I'm just stretching my back a bit. I think we will have a lot more... Oh, hang on. Left dragon's a bit over. Are we? Right. Do. Not you. I can't remember how to spell Iceni, which is a bit annoying. And I don't think I've ever spelt it anywhere in the park, which is crazy considering it's mainly about the Iceni tribe, who were Roman allies at one point for a very long time, and then the Romans outstayed their welcome and overstepped their boundaries big time, and so yeah, they were like, right, we'll have you, we'll sort you lot out, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. They definitely weren't. We're kind of not scared, but worried about the Iceni and the Celts and stuff, because there was parts of the country they never even went into. And in fact, they built bloody great walls to keep the Celts out. Right, I'm going to have to look up how to spell Iceni tribe, so bear with me. Still got the stream up, but Google no, sometimes yeah, it is as easy as I thought it was. It is as simple as and that's good to know. It's just Iceni, as in Iceni. So flags, bunting, you know, kind of like things that symbolise going to war is what I want to have in here. But also we want some warm lighting and that calm before the storm, you know, the optimism. That the thought that it was achievable. I don't want to convey too much then with my designs then. It is as simple as that, Iceni. Right, let's Aladdin. No, we don't want Aladdin. Do we want Norse? Oh, E. That looks like Kenny. Oh my god. You killed Kenny. You. Yeah. Except it's not Kenny, is it? That doesn't work at all. Okay, that's probably the better one. And colour green. Then we're going to copy. Bring here. Shadow it. I mean, that's a brown shadow, but that'll work. A wood-based shadow. Shadow. Yep. Oh, I'm going to bring that slightly up there. And yep. It's no good, I can't just grab them both. Normally I'd be able to do something like that over, just over normal ground, but nice. That's kind of, you know, where do we walk in here? Blah 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 blah. Walk in. Oh, I'm stood in here. Looks kind of nice. Gonna add plants and things. Lighting. See, it was all through the village. It's that kind of that fairy tale light, that kind of, you know, hey, everything's kind of light-hearted. But here you probably want flame torches and a bit more oomph. If you notice, the windows as well, they're orange, green and blue. And pretty much like all the colours, the main accent colours I've been using in the building. And then you've obviously got the brown wood texture as well. So then once it's lit with the orange lighting as well, it'll probably look quite nice in here. I was just thinking to have a flickering light. Well, I don't know whether you could turn them on and off quickly, like to give that flickering flame like it's been caught in wind effect. However, and this would take some experimenting and some ideas, but however, we have interactive pieces, radial, rotational, you know, spring, vertical. So you have these pieces that move. So what I'm thinking is perhaps you might be able to move the light in a way that gives the effect of a flame flickering, like you have support lighting as why, where am I? Alright, whatever, again. I was going to say where are all the lights, so perhaps you have something like this. So you have your torches on at all times, but then you have something like this rotating. So perhaps the lights that way. So I don't know with the lights. Okay, it'll all depend on whether this works or not. Thanks. Yep, darkness. Right. So the light is white at the moment. So orange. I'll confirm like that, saddle brown. Oh, great. Why are you not? So is it just, oh, it does affect, so it just affects everything around it, right? So, like that, it affects something around it. But I'm thinking, if I turn it over, does it still, no it doesn't. So, you could create that, like that shadow flickering effect. You probably have to have a fast rotational speed on a move, but yeah, you might be able to do it. We might be able to do it. I mean, we might as well go all out on this final build. So, gone to AM. It's like, why isn't it getting lighter? It's 3 o'clock. Yeah, in the morning. That's why it's not getting lighter. It's. But yeah, so that's an idea. That's a possibility. So when we get to do lighting, we can perhaps do that some flickering kinds of light effects, but not all over, because if you do it all over, it's like strobe lighting and it's too distracting. Whereas if you just have a subtle flick in a corner, you know, then it serves a better effect, I think. We'll see when we get there, but that's the idea, and everyone can refer back to this conversation if I forget what I was on about when I come to do the lighting, because it's a possibility, because I may have to end the stream soon. I've got work in the morning, but ho hum. These things happen. Is this a like mechanical teddy bear? Oh no, it's a. Can you see what I mean? It looks like a mechanical teddy bear, like nose and 2 eyes, and then but no, it's a Viking ship. It's distinctly a Viking ship as well, and that's an issue. Okay, what are you doing there, sir? You are a bird, and a bird could be used as part of a Celtic thing. Oh. Sorry, getting all excited and shouting. Ooh. I'm definitely in headphone users. Apologies. Just thinking. No. Well, no. What? Oh, it's a lightish colour. It's a light brownish, so kind of like. So I'm guessing that colour is. Ooh, yeah, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work, does it? You don't work like that. So what colour is that? Where's that? TV wanting to turn off. I don't like those colours. I kind of wanted to put these. You know what? Let's. No, that was not what I was trying to do. I was trying to reset to default. Because those colours mostly work. Just change you to a teal blue. A background colour to an orange. Green. Oh, that works better. See, I wanted to change it enough that it wasn't recognisable as a Viking piece. Can you see them outside? You can, kind of. Sorry. Ow. Just got some interference on the headset. Old Bluetooth headsets. And also, I think, I mean, I've noticed it a lot more. Taxis, when taxis go past in the street, I get interference badly on my headset. So I think a lot of modern phones now use similar Bluetooth bandwidths that SteelSeries opted for in their older headsets. What might be nice is to put a banner down the middle, so because I want to kind of get the feeling that this is all being planned behind closed doors. Does that make sense to anyone? Sorry, my son was waffling in my ear. I'm like, yeah, I'm streaming. Because he's just come back, which I was trying to explain to him was not sensible when a teenager, 16. But there we go. He's with people. Yes, I know. That's not the point. I'm not concerned about who you're with, your friends, because they're a known quantity. It's the unknown quantities we're concerned about. Anyway, joys of parenthood. I'm trying to think. I can't find anything that it's all too long. All my windows are too small, or so it's not working. The only thing that works in there is that, and the things that do work in there probably wouldn't work or shouldn't work like that. There is. I think there are other fabric pieces actually. Yeah, there is. But I've been using them for the linen actually. I just thought there is other fabric I've been using. One day, I mean, what I'd like to do is a car based. Yeah, this is it. All these drapes, but they're very opulent and luxurious, which is much more Roman than. And if I started using it on this side now, on the Celtic side, it kind of look out of place. Although, scenic tribes, I say, were quite in support of the Romans for a long time, and then so they probably would have had Roman artifacts or luxurious goods historically, possibly in possession of a few things anyway, at least. Right, from my understanding of it all anyway. So I'm gonna have a quick 5 minutes break. We'll get park back here, and we'll go for. See, I find 9 o'clock quite a nice time to go on it. Oh. So yeah, I don't know whether we want to do a on board. I suppose on board gives you the better view. Right, just give me a few minutes. I'll have a quick break, and then we'll do a little bit more before we finish. Alright, I'm back. Both the cats are outside, the kittens, so I'm kind of worried about them. They're refusing to come in, which is not great. Yeah, there's nothing we could really use there, which is annoying. And saying that, yeah, that's not doing what I want it to. I might use some of this holly wreaths and stuff within the station just to give it a bit of greenery with inside. Are these colours, are they lighting? Yeah, get off there. Oh yeah, it flashes through those colours. Which is fine, really. Bring some light back on the subject. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's... Add some subtle lighting to it all. See, I could use that because that's got a Celtic design on it, but kind of feels that way anyway. Obviously, if I put those together, I'm going to get sort of Celtic. Like that design. Let me... So I can't decide whether I like that or not. there is a problem as we bring it down, because that would be overlapping with that. Whereas if we do that, yeah, that's the issue. Sticks out the other side. It was a nice idea, but it didn't quite work. In saying that, that sticks out the back. What's 235 in half? So 120 perhaps, I'm thinking. Hello, Akari. Not going to be here much longer because I'm getting towards the end of the stream and towards the end of my creative juices flowing. Unfortunately. Oh, I could... No, that's not what I wanted to do, game. I wanted that. How are you anyway? So hopefully that, yeah. Good. I'm just theming an Intamin Blitz coaster station. Dueling Intamin Blitz. Just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks really at the moment. That, yeah, that encroaches on. What is already there. Nope, I didn't mean to delete that. I meant to delete that. Because I kind of want it to be a more natural look inside. What, this game? Where can you get it? It's available. Planet Coaster 2 is on. It'll be in the Sony PlayStation Store. Just search Planet Coaster 2. If you're into your management sims and creative games, most people use it for the creative side. Me included. No, that's too neat. That's too, I think, too big. I'm just trying to find something that I can use as a border. There is the piece I've used for, that's what I've used for the floor, but I probably don't want to use that for a wall piece. Or is that? That might work a bit more if we do that and then bring that across here and bring it back slightly. Got an idea of I can use that as a relief. What I'm thinking of doing is to give it a rough wood texture. See that? I'm trying to save piece count really more than anything, so I'm not eating into that budget, although now we're on the final ride, it's not so much of a concern, but it's easy to just do a blanket, kind of like wood texture. Thank you. I try and keep people informed as to what I'm doing. I realise creating in Planet Coaster 2 probably isn't the most thrilling thing to watch all the time, but I like to try and explain what I'm doing so people understand my thought process. Yeah, I may have to go for this piece again, my old faithful. Because I get that blanket effect again. I have been streaming for about 10 years. I've had this channel, so I've been doing it for some time. So I'm quite comfortable talking to myself, which is invariably what happens when I'm streaming Planet Coaster 2. Although I know some of the people that watch my channel regularly will catch up. You know, during the day or whenever they can. So I kind of wanted the wood to look different to the way it looks on the exterior. That's the thought process. Anyway, so when we stood in here, it doesn't look like the exterior. Yeah, that's kind of nice. It will look, once we've got the roof on top properly and everything, it will look a bit more interesting. Right, we'll use this piece. And I'm just going to shrink it down. 60% would probably be about right. Okay, perhaps 65% we need. Well, thank you. Subscribing helps the channel, helps us grow, helps me get in front of more people's eyes, and then they can join us as a legend, and we get interesting discourse about being creative and such like. It's also nice for people to relax too. Okay, is that? Yeah, it. Okay, that's not quite what. I'll move that too far then. People don't realise that subscribing. I mean, unless you're on YouTube yourself and you have your own channels and things, you don't know how much. You don't realise how much something as simple as pressing a subscribe button can mean to someone. But it can mean means the world. Shows you that you're going in the right direction, and people appreciate what you're trying to do. All right, let's bring you across. So we have the rough wood texture all round. As I say, this is going to be awkward. Okay. Yeah, that. Oh, that's got that. Yeah, I wonder why. But we've got a gap there. Not that that's an issue. That's not an issue because I can sort that gap with something else. My concern is, yeah, fitting that in there. That was my concern, and it's a justified concern because it doesn't fit. So, oh, and the smallest one goes that. 50 is the smallest we can go. 65 is, yeah, it sticks out, and that's the current width. The other thing is I could put something else there some other time. I'm going to have to fill it in with some other creative border. But coming up with solutions to the problems are what makes a build interesting, in my opinion. Okay. Bring that across there. Probably need another couple of percent. %, yeah. Have I got anything? Going across the top there, yeah, I have. Alright, that's going to get some texture clashing if I don't do anything about that. So, like that. That'll do us. Yeah, nice. That's working very well. So now inside we've pretty much got everything we want. It's, you know, that lighter wood cannot be seen, which is exactly what I was going for. And now just some detailing to be added and lighting. I didn't need to spin that around, but oh well. And then yeah, we'll have an interesting interior. That'll be fun for guests to stand in. And oh, does that count? Does that count as double subscribers, or is it a different account on your phone? Because I have the one account that's on my PlayStation and on my phone, so, and it works just as the same subscription. But I stream other things like Red Dead Redemption 2, which is one that we're running at the moment, quite a popular series, and Fortnite are the current games I'm playing. Mainly due to the fact that my Blu-ray disc drive is out of commission at the moment. Yes, this is what I was thinking, brackets for the entrances. Might be able to, I was going to say might be able to just cover it up with that, but then you have a square entrance. However, that might be alright. So it doesn't necessarily need to be, in saying that then I'm kind of kind of making that whole piece pointless. However, you know, the arch piece, however, it's creating a slightly more interesting entrance. Perhaps it'll be a happy accident, to quote Bob Ross. Where is it? Oh, I was trying to look in because that piece is exposed. But that can easily be resolved. Yeah, that's right. I've just exited out because it's not highlighting again, and I need to know what I'm grabbing. So I grab those 5 pieces. I'm just going to copy that and bring it across to the entrance as well. The entrance is a lot thinner though, so Just want to make sure it's okay on that side. It is. There we go. Add something for a sense of realism. I have made my own exit signs, but there are Planet Coaster ride signs as well. Yep, here we go. So we wouldn't want them too big. I think 50% is fine. I think that's central. Way too big. Way too big. In comparison to, or relative to, people that would actually be within the game. And the thing is, even though when I've done this station, I've got to do that station too. But it'll be different to this one. That's blessing in disguise. I don't know whether to cover up these bars and just have the air gates at the end. Because I have left them exposed, I think, in a lot of the other stations that we've built already. Let me have a look. Yeah, I have. I've left it just standard. And by keeping it simple and using, you know, in-game pieces and stuff, in-game barriers and that, it allows me to do a lot more. But this will all be custom, because this is the main, sort of the final ride, the main attraction. And once it's all themed up, hopefully look as interesting as all the rest of the park looks at the moment. Ooh, sorry, yawning. I'm getting tired. I'll have to go and try and persuade the kittens to come in a minute as well, since they're outside and not. And also whilst trying to stop the cat going out. So yeah, persuade Albion and Dave to come in whilst stopping Scruffy from going out, which I am personally not looking forward to. Colours at the moment are... Oh, that's the metal, right. I don't know whether I want them there or whether I'd want them on the end here. There's just a... I think if you have too much of it, if I overdo it, it could get a bit much, really. That kind of looks like an Iceni tribe, Celtic. Gonna make it a little bit bigger, but not by much. Just enough. Yep, and there we go. As soon as you're so what was it, 125 I think I scaled it up to. Yep, 125. Thank you for jumping over here, Planet Coaster 2. That was not where I was working. Just realised, yeah, the copying things issue that this game suffers from. Yeah, I was going to have them cross over like that. Yeah, that'll work. See what I mean about the texture issue. Hopefully, and we'll test that theory in a minute, if you reload it, I haven't saved for ages anyway, so right, saved. So now if we load it up, we'll just test whether those textures have returned or whether they're still that white, horrible white effect. It's a bug. It's a feature. If it was in a Bethesda game, it would definitely be a feature. It's not a bug, it's a feature. But yeah, I've got work in the morning, so I need to be up and ready early on. Let's have a look. Yeah, so look, they're fine now, which is exactly what we wanted. But we're getting there. Once I put on a water pump one is accessible for staff. Shut up. No, you're talking rubbish. It is accessible. All that will go away in a minute. It just needs a little bit of time to calm down. Right, if we use the mythology roof, we'll get those nice slats, and then I can add more slats to the slats. But I want to just show you, so you'll see what it looks like. Okay, that's way too... That's kind of that's kind of light, that wood. And I want a dark, heavier wood covering. But I don't know what would give me that. Thanks, game. Is that a darker wood? Possibly. Question mark. The only other issue is... No, it's not going to stick through there. Good. Yeah, it's still not as dark as, but it's much darker and fits the vibe we're going for, and that will then cover in the station, and then you'll have this dark station with this warmth flickering torchlight. I think I'll keep the air gates just as normal, because when you start covering up, I mean, covering up is fine, and you do get themed railings and stuff, but it becomes a bit complicated and kind of ruins it. So I'm just going to put banners up and things. We can do a little bit of that quickly before I go. As I say, I'm going to finish in a minute and try and get the girls in, the kittens, because we live near a particularly busy road and I don't like them being out, if I'm honest. Right, okay, what is that colour? Oh, well, my colours have disappeared now, have they? Thanks, game. No. What's that? Nope. Let's go for Hunter Green on that one. No worries. Thank you for popping in and saying hello. As I say, I'm going to end the stream shortly anyway, so you're not going to miss anything, and it's always on YouTube. But have a good day as well. I'm going to be off to bed soon. It's late now, so in the UK it's nearly midnight, and as I say, I've got work in the morning. Right, I think we'll just put that there and put another one in the middle here. Yeah, much better. Be nice to personalise each of the Intamin Blitz coasters as well for this ride. You know, just to show that we can do it, kind of thing. But yeah, I'll save that for another time. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to end there, and I'm going to go, as I say, I'm concerned about the kittens, so my mind's not fully on it. I will try and get them in, and I'll see you all soon. Good night.